We mentioned Fauci. He's retiring. Goodbye, Anthony Fauci. I don't know that I'm going to say farewell. A lot of us would say good riddance. And you write in the book a very interesting story about him, which explains a lot. You write about how he once told Trump, and you were privy to it, my advice in situations like this is that we should make people feel as bad as possible. Side note, check. We want to explain the worst possible scenario. If it comes true, we were right. If it doesn't, then we did a better job than people expected. I mean, to me, it's just further confirmation, Jared. This guy is an operator. He's an operator. He's not some impartial, above-it-all scientist. So off he goes. The science is leaving the National Institute of Health. And what do you think his legacy will be?
I don't know. Like I said, he occupies a lot more space in other people's minds than he does in mine. I think that it was interesting to work with him. That scene that you depict in the book, I thought was fascinating, where he was giving if you were just taking those two people together and one person was saying, let's manage expectations that we can exceed them, and the other person saying, no, we have to, show strong leadership so that we can get out of this and hold our economy and hold people's spirits together during this big challenge. You wouldn't have been sure which one was the politician and which one was the doctor trying to help people through. But look, the thing that was the most frustrating for people who worked with him on the task force is that he would, he was supposedly the expert on infectious diseases. I'd been there for a very long time, and then he'd be in all the meetings. One of the big challenges we had was testing. I write about this in the book about how we got involved to try to ramp it up, and we were going to roll out these testing in all these different locations. We came up with this idea, which bureaucrats wouldn't have done, to basically go to CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, all the big American companies that are in all the different communities stepped up and agreed to do it. They weren't asking for liability waivers. And then they come in and say, well, we have a problem. We only have 1.3 million swabs in the country right now, which basically meant instead of going to 400 locations, we can only go to 37. And so our biggest constraint on ramping the testing wasn't imagination. It wasn't money. It was really just gravity. We had to create, more effectively Q-tips. And so we used the DPA to really scale that manufacturing, and we were doing it as fast as we could. And we were scaling, at pretty rapidly. And then Fauci goes on television, and instead of saying, well, this is what we're doing, he says, we're just not there yet on testing. And everyone's like, wait, what are you, a sportscaster, or are you part of the team? You're in every meeting. If you have better ideas, tell us what they should be. But constantly we were being undercut. And there was another story that I write about where he was in my office and we were going through something, and his phone's on the table and it rings, and it shows up Jim Acosta on the phone. And so we were trying to figure out who in the White House was giving Acosta all this information from CNN saying that we were disorganized. And, it became pretty clear that he was, that there was just a lot going on that was complicated.
So Fauci and Jim Acosta are talking, and maybe Fauci's your leaker to CNN. It's unbelievable. I mean, look, we're going to have a lot more to say about Fauci later in the show and later this week, I'm sure. But when you think about school closings, when you think about the harm done to children, he's squarely to blame. And I'll tell you, as a mother of young children, I don't forgive him. I know you've got 4 young ones yourself. I don't forgive him. I think he's the one who was responsible, and he never took responsibility. In fact, all he's doing now is bragging about the Fauci effect, which is allegedly people going to medical school because they believe in truth. I'm sorry, Jared. No.
Yeah. It's complicated, but that's also why we made the decision. We left Washington to go to Florida. I mean, New York was like Pompeii. The restaurants were closed. All of our friends who could left. And we said, let's go to Florida. It's a land of freedom. The schools are open. We'll put our kids in school. And, we came really because of that, but we've now just fallen in love with the lifestyle. I mean, it's an amazing environment. You've got incredible people. But a lot of these places that followed the doctrine of what they were saying and really made it a political issue to many degree. I think they really harmed the children and did things that have had long-term impacts on their communities.
Like many of us, I am eating healthier these days, and that is why I love good olive oil. You gotta have good olive oil. And by good, I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and the healthiest nutrients when it's fresh from the farm. And that is the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That is why I love, and I do mean I love, my olive oil direct from small, award-winning farms thanks to a guy named TJ Robinson, also known as the olive oil hunter. When I tasted TJ's Farm Fresh oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. I know that sounds weird, but they're so good. They're incredibly delicious on salad, on veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. When I first tried it, I was like, olive oil, it's all the same. Wrong. It's not all the same. As an introduction to his fresh pressed olive oil club, TJ's going to send you a full-sized $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest for just $1 to help him cover the shipping. Best of all, with TJ's Club, there's never a commitment to buy anything, now or ever, and you can cancel your membership at any time. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1. Just covering the shipping, that's all. And taste the difference freshness makes. Go to harvestfreshnow.com. That's harvestfreshnow.com for a free bottle, and all you pay is just that $1 in shipping. harvestfreshnow.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.